So make sure you have your safety glasses. We don't wear short pants and long open toe shoes in this class. Do not make circuit modifications with power supply. That should be pretty obvious. Power must be removed from the circuit while awaiting instructor sign for help. No eating, get balls or the classroom lab, no beverages allowed in the prior. So if you allow you to have beverages in the classroom, when you're allowed, you need to have them by there, right? You can maybe come up here and put them on one of these stands here. Not following allowed procedures will be conducted in the lab grade, experiments will be performed. I'll have to just try to see what we're going to do about Bondale when he gets here. Fill out the required information at the top of the lab form. So all the lab forms are going to be up here. I think I've already ran them off. Take the instructor's lab manual. My lab manual is a little different than yours. This is the actual lab manual right here for any corrections before you start. It'll be up here by the lab forms. Write your name in the page of the first page of the experiment. Not having a lab grade form with required information will result in 10-point deduction on the lab. You all understand that? Students in a team must take turns connecting circuit. Each team member must document the constructor of the circuit in the space provided lab form. Team members not connecting the circuit must provide connection points for each device. Team members that are present are responsible for correct connection. Both team members are responsible for the correct connection of the circuit, right? You understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Place a check mark beside each experiment procedure step as it's completed. So that lets me know exactly where I need to be looking at. When your team needs a lab instructor check or help, one team member must write his/her name on a sign-off sheet located on the podium in front of the lab. We don't have a podium in here right now. It's been moved. So we'll just put it up here by where the lab forms are at, right? Everybody okay? Have the instructor check, have the instructor check the circuit and initial lab book and lab grade form. So it's going to say, have the instructor check your work, and that's what you need to do. Don't go ahead and try to go to another lab, right? You understand that? So I've had this happen several times where people tear a circuit down and go to the next one, and I don't ever even see it operate, which that means there's really no proof that you actually built it, right? You understand? Circuits that are not checked by the instructor will have to be reconstructed in order to receive partial credit. So you'll lose points for not following instructions, and now you're going to be behind in lab because you have to build the circuit more than once, right? Students will be not awarded points for portions of experiments completed by team members when they are absent or tardy. When absent or tardy team member returns, he or she must continue labs at the point where the present team member is currently working. There is no time schedule to make up labs or absences. Now we do scale the labs. We drop, I forgot how many labs in this class. So that means if you don't score real well on one or you miss a lab. So your partner, we don't want you to affect your partner's grade. So if you're going to be absent a lot, your partner's going to do what? Keep working, right? You'll understand that. And when you come in, he is not going to let you rebuild that circuit. We can say he in this class because that's what we have. If you do that, then you're going to both lose points for following procedures because now you're affecting the other person's grade, right? You understand that? Each team member must complete a lab grade form for each experiment. Lab grade forms are not to leave the classroom. All lab grade forms must be turned in to the instructor at the end of the lab session. So we'll have another box up here. I'm going to relabel that. It's going to be labs not ready to be graded. So that's why you can drop your lab form. You can go ahead and staple your lab to it if you want to. That's up to you. You can take your lab with you. Your lab, but not the lab form. Everybody understand that? Do the conclusion, evaluation, review questions and checkup exams. These questions are not a team effort. They must be answered individually by students. Do not copy answers from any book or from other students. Copying will result in the zeros for both parties. So that would be rough if you let somebody, I was taking a biology class at Jeff State, and guys said they wanted to go out and eat pizza. They would buy me pizza and go out and check lab books. And what did they want to do with my lab book? They wanted to copy it. So that's the last time I had anything to do with them, because I do all the work and then somebody gets credit for my work. That's not very good, is it? So it would be a shame if you let somebody copy your paper and then I find out and then both of you get zeros, even though you're the one that did the work. Once you complete the experiment, staple the lab form in the upper left-hand corner to the front of the experiment pages and place it in the box labeled ETC 120 labs to be graded. It'll be a box that looks like that. This box is located on the cabinet above the parts kit drawers. The parts kit drawers, usually we put it on top of that cabinet over there. I can do that, or we can leave it over here. It's up to you. Just make sure. Here's our parts kit. Yeah, so they're going to be in this this cabinet back here in the back. Do not forget to write your name at the space provided on lab grade form. Also make sure your name is at the top of the title page of the experiment. Include the front of the experiment page that has the title number. The first few discussion pages do not have to be turned in for grading. All pages that contains instructor sign-off or student written information must be included. Make sure experiment pages are stapled in the correct order. That pees me off, because I've got a key that I'm going by, right, you understand, and you don't have the pages in the right order. And I got to keep flipping pages in my key, so make sure you staple them in the right order. Make sure the correct order. Do not staple multiple experiments together. I see that all the time too. When people want to turn in 3 experiments at the same time, and what do they do? Staple them together. And what do I have to do now? I have to unstaple them so I can grade them with my key, right? Chapter quizzes must be completed and stapled to the last experiment. That's not true. I thought I corrected this guy. So in this class, your chapter quizzes. So if you look in your lab book, so I'll redo that and make sure we get that right. So every 2 or 3 experiments. So first experiment we're going to do is lab 31. And what's lab 31? What's that? Okay, so that's the wrong lab. So let's find diode characteristics, and y'all tell me the number on that one. My lab book and your book are not in the same order.
Diode characteristics. Oh, my bad. I was in the page. Diode characteristics.
It's lab 31? Okay. On your lab book. So one thing's right off the bat, we're not going to do, and so this is the lab, and then the last thing we look at, on the last page, you got further investigations. Everybody see that? Just keep turning the page, you'll see it sooner or later.
Yeah.
We're not going to be doing any further investigations in this class. Okay, and then what's the next page? What's that? I'm listening.
Yeah,
Really? And what's 32? Okay. And then what comes after lab 32? should have a checkup in there somewhere. I don't have, like I said, I don't have the new rule.
Checkup 16 and 32 and 33.
Okay. So what we're gonna do on the checkups, you'll just put your name on them and you turn those in separately. I thought I'd corrected this, but I hadn't. We're not gonna staple them to a lab because I just have to they're actually graded separately. Okay? And your lab procedure probably says that. This is the old version. I think I printed off one. What did y'all say for lab chapter quizzes? Don't it say, you don't say this, right? Yeah, lab chapter quiz. Huh? Turn it separately. Okay. On the lab procedures, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I said in the book, I think all right.
So when you get to the chapter quizzes or the topic quizzes, I don't know how you want to grade those, but these go in groups of labs. And then they'll have a topic quiz on a group of labs. Right? All you're going to do is just put your name on that and put it in the to be graded box. Don't staple them to anything. Okay?
That's not the one that's on file.
No, that's something for lab. Yeah. Are we okay?
Will the chapter quiz be what you were saying about checkup?
Yeah, that's checkups.
Okay, chapter quiz.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Completed experiments that require construction of circuits must be turned in with all experiment questions answered at or before the beginning of the next class meeting, after the last circuit and experiment has been signed off by the instructor. The due date for homework experiments, and I don't think we have any homework experiments in this class, by the way. So I need to go back and reword that. This is some be posted. So this class we have no homework experiments. So what you're going to do is when you get through with an experiment with the last circuit, when your team gets through constructing the last circuit, I'll put a date completed and I'll put a date due. The date due will be the next consecutive class, so you don't have to turn it in the day you complete the circuit, last circuit, you can turn it in the next class. Right? Understand? That makes sense? Gives you a little time to answer the actual questions at the end of the chapter, at the end of each experiment. This is an example of the lab form. Skipped over a major thing, guys. We need to make sure we look at this guy right here. Before applying power to the trainer, have the lab instructor check each circuit and initiate your lab work. This is not a sign off for the circuit. So basically, your circuit will be initialed twice. It'll be initialed once saying it's okay to put power on it. Then it'll be initialed again once you complete the circuit and get it signed off. Everybody understand that? Make sure you get that thing signed off before you put power on it. I'd be very, very upset you turn something on and something pops on you back there, right? Very upset. And I lost the one that I made corrections to, so this is not, all this is not exactly right. But first of all, we don't have any homework labs in this class, right? We do have a lot of worksheets, but we don't have any homework labs. And then, when you turn in your chapter quizzes, you're going to turn those in separately, right? Are we okay? Just like I said, somehow I've lost my thing. My corrections, but I'll make those. So that's the lab procedures. Y'all got any questions on it? Well, the lab form. So I've lost my example lab form too. So, is y'all's lab form filled out?
For the most part.
I'll give you a list of the labs that's required. So this is basically the way the lab form will look like. Just cut off the name, all the names. Then you put the experiment number. So the first experiment, we're going to take the experiment from the first one, right? And then put the title of the experiment, which is diode characteristics. Then what you'll do down here is just look at the amount of time, not the time, the amount of time that it took to get the lab. Demonstration, we did 2 days. So Bill Fold and Fernando Walkman worked on 3 hours, first lab, 5 hours. They completed it today, the last 9 hours. That makes sense? Down here, you're going to put the constructor's name. You're going to take turns constructing circuits, right? You understand that? So you're going to be working in a team. One person is going to construct the circuit. The other team member is going to tell them how to construct the circuit, right? Everybody okay there? Then when I sign it off, I come back and check the circuit off. I will initial here. This is where I'll come in and I'll deduct points. And then down here, this checkup is not on the actual lab form. So I think that's the only thing changed from it. And then lab deduction, you should have ETC 120 lab deductions out there. So this is the way I take points on it. And then I'll give you a sheet out that shows you all the actual labs, the labs that we're going to work on. The first lab we're going to do is lab number 1. 31. And if your group finishes that today, you can move to lab number 32. We've covered everything for those 2 labs. So now we're capable of working on 2 labs. Everybody okay? Yes or no? So you should have the lab deductions. It should be right on yours. Like I said, so I have to go back and retype all that stuff in. So let's go ahead and